Okay, so do what feels right for you and take your time. We're going to start on the mat. I thought we'd work into plank positions. They're quite strong for the core, so we work with some breathing exercises and things that wake up the centre of our body, and that's good for heat as well. So taking your time, and if it's okay, coming down onto the floor or your mat or your space. So if you keep the soles of your feet flat to the floor and just gradually allow yourself to come down, you can wiggle around. Always know the first time you come down doesn't have to necessarily be the position that you keep. So you can lift up one shoulder at a time, lift up one foot at a time, and then see, is it okay, can you draw the knees in towards you and rock from side to side. Just kind of getting that sense of having that relationship or connection to the ground beneath. And then coming back to centre, we're going to take both hands underneath the right knee, place the left foot back on the floor, ease the knee down, right knee down, circle the right ankle, a few times one way, then the other way. And then just lightly placing the hands onto the belly, just have a sense of that connection. The hands are quite light. Be aware of your breath coming in. And as you breathe out, can you feel the belly sink? Breath comes in, you can feel the belly rise or the chest rise. And as you breathe out, as your belly sinks, can you lengthen the right leg away so it's hovering off the floor, so the belly will sink. As you breathe in, draw the knee back in. And as you breathe out, lengthen the right leg away, hovering off the floor. In breath, draws the knee back in. And take your attention to the left foot. So the left foot can really connect that movement to the ground. The in-breath draws the knee back in, the out-breath lengthens the leg away. And if you're okay to do this, breathing in and out through the nose, work with that. If you need to breathe through your mouth, then obviously you breathe through your mouth, but you're just focusing in and trying to wake up those core deep muscles around the abdomen. So you can place the hands on the belly if that feels better. So knowing that as you breathe in, belly rises, knee draws in. As you breathe out, belly sinks, leg lengthens away. And just twice more, see how that feels. And the next time the right knee comes in, stay there, breathe as you need to. Take the hands underneath the knee, ease the knee down. And then if it's okay, take the right leg up towards the ceiling. Point the toes away, draw the toes towards you. You can take the hands just to rest back onto the body now as you just work through the foot. And as you push the heel away, really feel that stretch in the back of the leg. As you push the heel away, push down into the left foot. As you push the heel away, down into the left foot, and see if you can lift up the hips. Just see then, and you're going to feel that contraction maybe around the belly. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, really carefully let the hip drop down. Point the right toes away. And then really send up through those right toes. And as you send up through the right foot, push down into the left foot, and the hips might lift. So you're really drawing up through the hips as well. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, carefully lower your hips back down. Take the hand around the back of the knee. See if you can ease that leg a little bit lower. But you're just going to go to where you can go. Circle the ankle every now and again. That just helps relieve the tension in the back of the leg. Maybe the leg will come a little bit lower, or you just go to where you go. The hands can stay around the back of the thigh. And then we're going to stay with the right leg. We're going to ease the right knee in and then lengthen the right leg along the floor. Circle the right ankle, still with the right leg. We do all these things on the right side first of all. Circle the ankle a few times one way, then the other way. Hands can rest on the belly. So I'm going to work quite strongly with the in and out breath. If I say breathe in, it doesn't feel right. Obviously you breathe in a way that feels correct for you or right for you. Be aware of your breath coming in. As you breathe out, the belly sinks and the right leg lifts. As you breathe in, take the hand around the back of the right thigh, bend the knee. And as you breathe out, if possible, draw the forehead or the nose towards the knee. In breath, lowers the head, raise the leg, let go of the hands. And as you breathe out, sink the belly down and sink the leg, right leg back down to the floor. When the leg comes down, let it go. Breathe as you need to. We're going to do that 3 more times. Be aware of your breath coming in. As you breathe out, sink the belly down, raise the right leg up. As you breathe in, hand around the back of the right thigh, bend the knee. And as you breathe out, draw the forehead or the nose towards the knee. Breath in, lower the head, raise the leg. And as you breathe out, sink the belly. Can you lift the pelvic floor and lower the right leg all the way back down? When the leg comes down, let it go. Breathe as you need to. Twice more. Breathe in. As you breathe out, sink the belly down, lift the pelvic floor, raise the right leg up. As you breathe in, take the hand around the back of the thigh, bend the knee, and as you breathe out, draw the forehead or the nose towards the knee. Breath in, carefully lower the head, raise the leg. Then as you breathe out, as the belly sinks, can you lift the pelvic floor as the leg lowers back down to the floor? Breathe as you need to when the leg comes back down. One more. Breathe in. As you breathe out, sink the belly down, raise the leg. You can lift the pelvic floor if possible. As you breathe out, take the hands around the back of the thigh, bend the knee. So I think I've gone wrong. As you breathe out, draw the forehead towards the knee. Breathe in, lower the head, raise the leg. Then as you breathe out, lift the pelvic floor and lower the leg all the way back down to the floor. When it comes down, breathe. Notice how that feels. And then we're going to draw the right knee in, just still with the right knee for a little bit more. Circle the ankle a little bit. And then you're going to carefully place the right foot back on the floor. Draw the left knee in towards you. So we're going to do the same on the left. Left knee comes in, you can circle the ankle around a little bit. And then carefully place the hands on the belly. So as you breathe out, you can, if you like, as the belly sinks, see that you can lift the pelvic floor. It's just another way of drawing in through the abdomen. Be aware of your breath coming in. As you breathe out, sink the belly, lift the pelvic floor, lengthen the left leg away. So it's hovering off the floor. Breath in, draw the knee back in. As you breathe out, as the belly sinks, lift the pelvic floor, lengthen the leg away. As you breathe in, let go of all those things. Knee comes in. As you breathe out, sink the belly, lift the pelvic floor, lengthen the leg away. And just see if you can find that rhythm, that kind of slow sort of pattern. And really working with your breath. And if it does get too much breathing in and out through the nose, obviously you breathe in a way that feels doable for you. And if it's too much to lift the pelvic floor, you do what you can. And use that right foot, the foot that's down on the floor, use that to find purchase. So that's really connecting you to the ground beneath. Then the next time the left knee comes in, stay there, breathe as you need to, hands underneath the knee, circle the ankle, a few times one way, and the other way. And then I'm going to keep the knee quite close as you take the foot up towards the ceiling. Then again, circle the ankle around a little bit. You can let the hands come to rest on the body. And if you point the left toes away, as you point the left toes away, sink down into the right foot and see if you can lift up the hips. And you might feel the belly sink because those muscles there really have to contract in order to find that movement. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, ever so carefully lower the hips back down. And do the same with the heels. So if you push up through the left heel, up through the left heel, or draw the left toes down into the right foot to see if you can draw the hips up off the floor. And the belly might sink, you don't even have to do that really. Be aware of the breath coming in. Then as you breathe out, sink the hips back down. Stop for a few moments, maybe take the hand around the back of the thigh, maybe take the hands a little bit higher, circle the ankle. So that helps release the tension in the back of the leg, even though it might still feel quite tight. And just see if you can draw the leg a little bit lower. Use the right foot on the floor to see where you are. Shoulders are wide, elbows are wide, and you're still breathing. And then bend the left knee, and then we're going to do that same sequence we did before. So if you lengthen the left leg along the floor, circle the ankle, left ankle a few times one way, then the other way. Now remember the right foot, the right leg is bent, and the right foot really allows you to feel grounded or connected to the floor. Be aware of your breath coming in. As you breathe out, sink the belly, lift the pelvic floor, and lift the left leg. As you breathe in, take the hand around the back of the left thigh, bend the knee, and as you breathe out, draw the forehead to the knee, or towards the knee, that direction. As you breathe in, lower the head, raise the leg, and as you breathe out again, sink the belly, the pelvic floor might lift, and you lower the leg to the floor, so the inner body lifts, but the outer body goes down. Breathe as you need to, so you're going to do that 3 more times. Breath comes in, as you breathe out, sink the belly, lift the leg. Breathe in, hand around the back of the thigh, bend the knee, and as you breathe out, draw the forehead or the nose towards the knee. As you breathe in, lower the head, raise the leg, and as you breathe out, sink the belly, the pelvic floor might lift, but the leg lowers. When the leg comes down, breathe as you need to. Twice more, be aware of your breath coming in. As you breathe out, sink the belly, raise the leg. Breathe in, hand around the back of the thigh, bend the knee, and as you breathe out, draw the forehead towards the knee. Just in that direction. As you breathe in, lower the head, raise the leg. And as you breathe out, you can sink the belly, you can lift the pelvic floor, but the leg lowers. So the outer body goes down, but the inner body comes up. So kind of finding those two things. When the leg comes down, just settle, breathe. Last time, be aware of your breath coming in. As you breathe out, sink the belly, lift the pelvic floor, raise the leg. Breath in, bend the knee, hand round the back of the thigh, and as you breathe out, draw the forehead towards the knee. As you breathe in, lower the head, raise the leg. And last time, as you breathe out, sink the belly but lift the pelvic floor and lower the left leg all the way back down to the floor. When it comes down, you just let go, you breathe as you need to. And then we're going to draw the left knee in, then we're going to draw the right knee in. Just rock a little bit from side to side. Then we're going to keep the right knee drawn in, place the left foot back on the floor. Hands by your side. Right, so breathe in. As you breathe out, now we're going to take the arms overhead and lengthen the right leg away. The in-breath draws the arms down, draw the knees in. So just do that 3 more times. So you're slowing it down and feel the back of the shoulders, feel the back of the hips. Maybe you can start to feel the abdomen, those core deep muscles really starting to work. I've lost count. I think that might be about 3 times. So then when you're ready, you stop with the right knee drawn in towards you, hands underneath the knee, on top of the knee, ease the knee down, and then we do the same on the other side. Draw the left knee in, hands down by your side, breathe in. As you breathe out, lengthen the leg away, take the arms on the floor above your head, feel the back of the shoulders. As you breathe in, draw back in. As you breathe out, lengthen away. And just another 2 or 3 more times, just sort of seeing how you feel, but really connecting to the breath. And having that sense, really now, you might start to feel it, the centre of your body, that core deep place deep inside you that activates when you breathe anyway, and all we're doing is emphasising those movements. And the next time the knee comes in, stay there, then draw the right knee in and rock a little bit from side to side. And then just to ease into those muscles, bring the feet on the floor and take the feet a little bit wider. Hands can rest where's comfortable for you. And just let your knees rock from side to side. That just lengthens those muscles, the abdominal muscles that we've been working, just rocking from side to side. And you might want to stay with the knees over to the right, then come back up, and then maybe stop with the knees over to the left. And then come back up. And then just rest there for a few moments, seeing how that feels. And then taking your time, come over onto your side, whichever side is good for you, and come into all fours. So when you're in all fours, so the wrists are more or less underneath the shoulders and and the knees are underneath the hips. So you're just in an all fours position. You can round the spine, so you take the gaze towards the knees, really round or arch the spine, breathe in. Then as you breathe out, let go and let yourself sink, and the gaze can go forward. As you breathe in, round or arch the spine. And as you breathe out, let yourself sink. So it's giving that sense of movement in the spine and still being with your breath. Because ultimately, when we let go of all these movements, you're just going to be breathing anyway. But when we emphasise the breath, it just draws our attention to it, focuses our thoughts. And then come back to centre. So if it's okay with you, you're going to take the right leg back and the toes are tucked under. Rock the right heel from side to side so you can feel that movement through the base of the toes. Just rocking from side to side. And you can feel that through the hip as well. Bend the knee and the hip will drop, and then lift the knee and the hip will lift. Just get that sense of movement through the body, and then bring the knee back and send the left leg away. Rock through the heel, so you're rocking through the base to the toes. Feel that in the hip. And then when you're ready, bend the knee a little bit, so that will drop the hip. Then lift the knee, and that will lift the hip. Bend the knee, left knee to drop the hip. Lift the knee to lift the hip. And then come back. Tuck your toes under. If you bring the hands a little bit closer in, lift up one knee at a time. And imagine the back of the waist. The back of the waist is being drawn up. And as you rest down into the hands, can you lift the knees? Count to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then bend the knees, flatten the feet, and ease your hips back towards the heels. See, if that's possible for you. Just give the wrists a little bit. If you turn the palms up, just fold the fingers in and out, so giving the wrists a bit of a break. And then coming back into all fours, we're going to send the right leg back, right leg goes back. So you're on if you tuck the toes under, just get that sense of connection. And then we're going to come up through the left shoulder to lift the left arm. So right leg is back, left arm lifts. If it's okay, turn to look towards the left fingertips. And as you take the left hand up towards the ceiling, you just turn to look up towards the fingertips. And then lower the arm down, bring the right knee in, send the left leg back, toes tuck under. Come up through, think of the back of the right shoulder being drawn up to take the right arm up. Sweep the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, and can you turn to look up towards the fingers or towards the hand? Make sure you're breathing, and then carefully lower the hand back down, draw the knee in, and ease your hips back towards your heels. Bring the elbows a little bit closer, turn the palms up, and just fold the fingers in and out. So just do that one more time. Just get a sense of support through the centre. So if we bring the hands down, send the right leg back. Now imagine know where your hips are in space, but imagine there's something deep inside underneath the ribs and the back of the waist being drawn up. Then if you draw up through the back of the left shoulder to lift the left arm, and if you take the left hand or fingers up towards the ceiling, can you take the gaze up to look towards the left hand? Make sure you're breathing, and then lower the hand, bring the knee in, send the left leg away, get your balance. You're looking down at first, because you don't have to look up. If it's too much, don't look up. Draw up through the right shoulder to lift the right arm, and sweep the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, and turn to look up towards the hand. Make sure you're breathing, well done, and then bring the hand down, bring the knee in, and ease your hips back towards the heels. Turn your palms up. If it's too much for these, you can come out of it. You can give your knees a bit of a rub. If it's too much, obviously, at any time, you come out and just, you can shake the hands off, and can give the knees a little bit of a, I can't think what that is, like a little bit of thump. And then when you're ready, you can come back into all fours. Right, so we're going to try plank. So if you take the hands a little bit further forward, maybe a little bit wider, and bend the knees, not elbows, bend the elbows a little bit, just to kind of get a sense of movement. Move the head from side to side. Do all these things, just help our breath free up a little bit. Now know where the shoulders are in space, know where the hips are in space. We're going to send the right leg back, but we're not going to change anything with the shoulders, we're not going to change anything with the hips. And then bring the right knee back in. Send the left leg back, try not to change anything with the shoulders, try not to change anything with the hips. And then bring the knee in. And then just do that a few times, because you can just stay doing this. If this is enough, don't do any more than this. If this feels okay, next time one leg lengthens away, toes are tucked under, then lengthen the other leg away. So know where the hips are in space, know where the shoulders are in space. Widen between the shoulders, find the outside edges of the feet, the outside edges of the heels, the outside edges of the hips. Make sure you're breathing, and then carefully bring the knees back down and ease your hips back towards the heels. We're just going to see if we can do that one more time. Well done. Turn the palms up and just fold the fingers in and out. And then when you're ready, we'll come back into all fours. Hands can be a little bit further forward. Send one leg away. And just stay with one leg at a time if it's enough, or see if you can send both legs away as you go into plank. And then from here, when you're ready, just see if you can let the hips drop, come onto the front parts of the feet, let the hips drop, and take the gaze forward. So you come up into up dog. So the hips don't have to be on the floor, but you can let your knees come down to the floor, and you're just looking forward. And then lift the hips, round the spine, and ease yourself back into child's pose. So from plank, we can see if we can go into up dog. Just see how that feels. Turn your palms up and just fold the fingers in and out. So we just see if we can do that one more time. So before we do it, last time, just bring the knees in front of you, or the legs in front of you. Just give your knees a little bit of a break. So you can give the knees a rub, and that helps the wrist, because it's hard on the wrists and it's hard on the knees as well, these things. So just give those areas of your body, shake the wrists and just shake the knees a little bit. Just bring a little bit of circulation into them. And then we'll just see if we can go into, we'll go into up dog first, and then we'll see if we can go into plank. We'll reverse it, see how that feels. So from all fours, if you ease your hips back towards the heels, if you tuck the toes under at first if possible, ease the hips back towards the heels. Take the hands a little bit further forward, a little bit wider. Soften the elbows a little bit, see if you can lift the wrists, find a little bit of movement. Hands can go a little bit further forward, a little bit wider. Fingertips rest down into the floor. Now imagine you're drawing the fingertips back towards the wrists. Imagine the shoulders and the elbows are coming back towards the knees as you send the crown of the head forward between the hands. Flatten the feet, you let the hips drop, and the gaze is just forward. So this is your up dog. So the hips aren't on the floor, but the knees are on the floor. Now tuck the toes under. Know where you are in space. You're going to lift the knees, lift the hips, not too high. You're going to come up into plank. See how you are there. And then when you're ready, lower the knees. Keep the hips off the floor, flatten the feet, down into the feet to lift up through the spine. So you go back into up dog. Beautiful. And then carefully bring the hips back towards the heels. Bring the hands a little bit closer, turn the palms over, and just fold the fingers in and out. And then from here, we just try down dog, because I'm doing all those movements, we just see how down dog feels. So come into all fours, tuck your toes under, lift up one knee at a time. Imagine or think the crown of the head is moving forward as the tailbone rests towards the heels. And then we rest down into the hands, soften the elbows and lift the knees. As the heels go towards the floor, think of the crown of the head moving forward, 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 past the fingertips. From inside underneath the ribs, imagine you can lift and draw up. And you feel the breath inside and around the lungs. And you can walk one knee at a time or walk one leg at a time to ease into the back of the legs. And then as the heels rest away, the crown of the head moves forward. And then carefully lift the heels to bring the knees down and ease back down into child's pose. Stop there for a few moments. And then when you're ready, just coming up to sit. So it's just swinging the legs in front. I know these are all really hard on the wrist, so just give the wrists a little bit of a shake. And then bring the backs of the hands together. Let the shoulders rest away from the ears. Take the right hand over the top and just lightly link the fingers. Wide elbows, take the hands down, thread in and up. And then go forward. Just doing that a few times. Just helps movement in the wrist. But keep the fingers really soft so you're not gripping or anything like that. Next time the hands go forward, take the backs of the hands together. The left hand goes over the top, lightly link the hands. Wide elbows, wide shoulders, and then just lightly bringing the hands in and up and then forward. Just doing that a few times. I know it can be hard on the wrists. And then when you're ready, stop and just give the hands a bit of a shake. You can bend the knees, just bend the knees a little bit, lean back and just rock the knees from side to side. So all these things, when we rock from side to side, that eases those muscles of the abdomen that really had to work quite hard in order to do the plank and the up dog, all those movements that we're working with. And the next time the knees go over to the right, stay there. Bring your hands round either side of that right knee. And if you place your left hand on the left hip, just underneath your hand, just move the hip around a little bit, just easing into that hip. Then let the left hip drop back as you take the left hand on the top of the right thigh. Maybe take the right hand behind you and just turn to look behind you so you feel that twist in the centre of the body. Make sure you're breathing. And then carefully come back to centre. Let the knees go over to the left. Take the hands either side of the left knee at first. You're just turning to the left. Stop there for a few moments. Then again, maybe you can place the right hand on the right hip and just move the right hip around a little bit. So all these things really help those muscles in the centre of the body. And around the lower back as well, they're really good movements for the lower back. Then eventually let the right hip drop away. The right hand can rest on the left thigh or the left knee. The left hand goes behind you, and if it's okay, just turn to look round behind you. Let the shoulders widen, come away from the ears. You can really feel that twist in the centre of the body. And the right hip is dropping away as the spine turns towards the left or away from the hip. And then come back to centre. Take the legs in front. And there can be a little bit of a bend in the knee as well. And now with the hands, just move the hands or the body from side to side. So just rocking body from side to side. That's it, well done. So you can feel those muscles deep inside. And then just to conclude, we'll come back onto our back. So taking your times, keeping the knees bent and just rolling down. And maybe when you come down, just bring in, like we started, draw the knees in towards you, rock a little bit from side to side. And if it's all right, closing your eyes down, so you allow yourself to settle. And then bringing the feet onto the floor. And if you bring your ankles together, if possible, can you just let the right knee drop out to the right and the left knee drop out to the left? So you just feel that stretch on the inner thigh. And you can place your hands on the hips and just lightly pat or tap the hips. Just asking the hips to let go of the legs, to let go of the muscles of the thighs and maybe the knees. Just ease a little bit lower and then stop. And the hands can stay resting there. You can bring the hands onto the belly. And just allow yourself to settle down. Give yourself permission. And then the right knee can come up and go over to the left. Doesn't have to go all the way. And then you leave, the right knee goes up and over to the right and the left knee comes up and over towards it. So just moving the knees from side to side. So the top knee leads the movement. Just rocking from side to side. And then eventually, when you feel ready, just coming back to centre, seeing how that feels in your lower back, and you might want to straighten the legs away, or you can keep the knees bent. Just see how that feels for you. And the hands can stay resting on your body, or the hands can come to rest down by your side. So just deciding, it's just a choice. And then whatever position you're in, feeling the connection of your body on the ground beneath you, the weight of your head, the weight of the shoulders, the spine and the hips, the arms and the hands, the legs and the feet. And knowing that you have that support beneath, the ground beneath, the earth. So when you take your attention to your breath, all there is to do is to notice the breath that comes into your body and to notice the breath that leaves. And keep things as simple as you possibly can. You follow the path of the breath coming in, perhaps all the way down through to the belly. And as you breathe out, you follow the path of the breath as it leaves. From the belly, through the spine and out through the nose. And you breathe in. And as you breathe out, have that sense that you're letting go of the breath, but you're also letting go of your body a little bit more. So you rest and you quieten down. And you allow all those movements and all those things that we've been doing for the last half an hour to land and to be felt in your body. And you notice any aches or any differences in your body, any areas that feel more awake, any areas that feel tired. And you learn to build awareness of yourself. And then as we prepare to come out of the practice, again, being with your breath, being with all those sensations that you feel, and ever so carefully start to move your fingers and start to move your toes. You can move the shoulders, turn your head from side to side, all those little things that help us come back to the day. moving, roll the shoulders. Feels like a nice thing to do. You can stretch the arms overhead. Draw the knees in towards you, rock a little bit from side to side. That's till you feel ready to come to rest on your side, and take your time resting on your side. And coming to sit up when you're ready.